Guests. Do we have guests today? Do we have guests? Good. All regulars. That's wonderful. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else we need to do now at this point. Oh, I've learned a lesson. I think in the future, when I reach in there, or somebody reaches in and we pull out someone to select for Sergeant at Arms, we'll have to make sure that they're here or present, because every time I try, they say, no, I'm sorry, we can't, and I don't want to, and et cetera, et cetera. It makes it difficult. I also would like to encourage that when we do Sergeant at Arms, that we take an extra look and see, to give our Rotarians, fellow Rotarians, compliments for what they've accomplished during the week or why they were in the paper. Oh, that's outside. Are you on call, Tim? You gone? Yeah. Yeah. So, meaning that we unfortunately do not have a Sergeant at Arms at this point. And I walked up here without my notes. What am I forgetting to do in Billings? No guests, no Sergeant at Arms, and thank you. Good news? Yes, Dan.
Got my daughter married off on Saturday, so I got one more off the payroll. And literally, get this, she doesn't start, she's going to be kindergarten teacher in Waterloo. She doesn't start until like the third week in August, and she got her first paycheck already. I'm like, who pays people before they work? I don't know who does that, but I thought that was kind of good. That means I don't have to pay her anything.
Along that same line, I have a granddaughter who was head of Head Start for Seattle, Washington. And she went on to get her PhD because she really wanted to be a grade school teacher, which she is now for an Air Force base. And all it took was a $40,000 cut in pay. Luckily, she has a very well-to-do husband. But I thought that was amazing. Yes, Jim.
Some fundraising at the county fair in August. And if we do that, the recipient of any funds that we generate through the activity will be the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. You've stolen a little bit of my thunder, but that's okay. Yes, Arvid.
Another announcement, here's for the Meals on Wheels, and it's August 1st to the 5th, and so if anybody would be more than happy to join it, go ahead and sign up for it, and we'll go from there.
Good. Thank you, Arvid. Thank you. Let's see. I'm looking for, my gosh, there's only 3 women in this place? Where is Anna Andrews? Could you come up here for a minute, please? Anna Andrews, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Got that. Oh.
We got to get an official picture.
Oh, okay.
Smile, pretend you're having fun.
Thank you.
Okay. Got that taken care of. So, I've introduced the guests. I've got that taken care of. The next thing, I suppose, is the presentation. So, anybody want to introduce the presenter? Okay. So, pardon me. I need to get my notes so I know what I'm talking about. This season of this presidency has started off schedule. I mean, I didn't even get started, and it was started automatically off schedule. Supposedly our first meeting is to do the transition, the presentation, past president, previous and current president. However, he left as soon as he had a chance. He's gone. He's been gone for the last 2 weeks, so that was hard. Also, our district governor, his only time slot was the first week in July, so that was a high precedent. I'm glad he was here. So instead of that meeting, we had like I said, John here, and then following that, I'm sorry, I have a very soft voice and don't appreciate people talking.
Gentlemen, you're disrupting the program.
Thank you. I will be glad. My career as a supervisor, I took advantage of my soft voice. It required my people to pay attention, and rude people just continue to stay rude. It's unfortunate, but I will make a point out of it. I hope you don't get upset. Anyway, after our meeting, John stayed for a meeting of the board, and he left being very impressed with facilities, people, and our enthusiasm. So those are all good things, so thank you for that. Our board usually, or the board I should say, usually meets before and we talk about what I'm going to go for the next year. We didn't get that opportunity, so I'm springing a bunch of surprises on the board. Because of that, things might alter or maybe really alter a bit from the presentation, but we'll certainly keep you covered on those things. Saying that, let's move on to that. First of all, like I said, our strengths. And that is, in fact, we have a very good facility, very well maintained and very comfortable. Audiovisual, obviously, very good in food. And not without getting Tim's head too large, our presentations are really superior. We've done very, very well. And what makes it really great and easier for me is an active membership. So thank you for that very much. But after I saying that, we want to expand the scopes if we can of our presentations. The times we've had worldwide speakers have been wonderful and very educational. We do a pretty good job with the Civic. We want to continue doing that and hopefully expand our industry, people like Polaris and Masaba and places like that, and talk to them. So I think we've got a good thing doesn't mean we should stop there. We should continue on and press further. Okay. This we've talked about in the board, and I think it's a very good idea. The duck race has become somewhat popular. We could make it more popular. We can have a lot more fun with it in how we promote the ducks, either through the air or on the water or whatever, and make it a presence and something that we've known. So I think it would be humorous and could be profitable. And like you had said earlier, we would like to take the other charities and stuff we do and look at charities such as the Boys and Girls Club. And to be honest, I forgot. Did we specifically say that, Chuck, that would be Boys and Girls Club for that charity? Did we specifically say it was going to, for this one, to be Boys and Girls Club? That's fine. It's fine. Okay. This, because we have the fact it's, excuse me, going to be very close by in Sioux City, we'd like to make a major presence. We'd like to have as many people as possibly could be there, and we'd like to have a good display. And we've talked a little bit about it. We'd like to make part of the display either with the shelter box, or showing the shelter box. And when I say distinctive in the crowd, I'm talking about, and we'll make that decision, should we have bigger, similar badges, shirts, vests, whatever. Think about it. But if we could give a presence and say, oh, that's the Vermillion Rotary Club, I think it'd be a great benefit. Especially, and I'm thinking about that as well. I'm trying to look at our meeting before that. If we can, in some respects, invite other people from the others all around that's going to be here to come to our visit with our meeting. We'll see. But that's why I want to say distinctive in the crowd. I don't mean that we shout the loudest or wear the most obscene costumes, but have something. And as I said, I'd like to work this year with promoting the shelter box program. Tim, what is your title with that? Did you have a title? Ambassador?
Yes, yes.
Does that imply for the whole district or the?
Kind of, yeah. Oh, and probably even beyond the district if I were interested in doing so, but I have limited time.
Yeah. Pardon me, presenting you. So that pretty much says it about the shelter box. I think it's a very worthwhile purpose and goal to work with. And there's other clubs, I'm sure they're just as active, but I think it'd be a good thing on our part to do that. This has been talked about quite a bit recently. I mean, I'm sure it's been talked about in the previous years too, but it looks like we have a pretty good board of a group of people that are interested in promoting this. And they've all pointed out pretty clearly that USD would be a good source for starting and promoting. And with that, and with an active interest in the project, we stand a good chance of getting it going this year. I don't know exactly how long it takes to do that. It takes some time. It's not something you do overnight, but it would be a great thing. It would help for a natural lead-in into joining us and the rest of Rotary as well. So, Kathy, I don't remember, has this been tried before in the past years, a Rotaract? Has Rotaract been tried before? Good, that's great. Expand Rotary visibility. And how do we do that? By putting our face out everywhere we can. One of the things I particularly like is a QR code, which is something that you scan and it brings you up to a nice ad that we're going to put together, or a nice clip saying, this is Vermillion Rotary and this is what we do and this is why you should be with us. And also expansion of multimedia. I'm trying to find a way to make Chuck very busy. So, am I okay? Can everybody hear me, by the way? I should have spoken up. Okay. This is something, I don't think it's relatively new. I forgot when it is that Rotary International talked about it, but it'd be an ideal way for us to increase membership. Let's take Jim Peterson as an example. I'm very glad when you're here, very glad, but I recognize you're a busy man. But if we could say Jim Peterson is the person at Masaba, but he can bring any other people he wants to bring. If he can't make it, somebody else can make it under his name. That's kind of the definition of a corporate membership. And I think we could do that and benefit everybody. The more we expand our knowledge of other industries around here and increase our exposure to other people. It requires a change in our bylaws, but Rotary International is basically given us the paragraphs to put in. It's pretty simple, and only the board has to make a decision as to which one of the little things we'd like to use, but I would like to add that and work with corporate membership. I think it would expand our membership. Now, when I say that, and I'll use Jim as an example, if they sign for a corporate membership, that's one person, it's one vote. No matter whether it has 2 or 3 other people that can come and visit, it's still just one vote, or represent our count to Rotary as one member. If a company says, gee, we have several people that might be interested and would choose to do 2 or 3 memberships, that's fine. And each one would be a vote, but not the all auxiliaries. Okay. This, we don't discredit our new members. We don't put them in a corner and not talk to them again. But I think we could do a better job of welcoming to the club and saying what's going on and the activities we do and what we're working towards. And I'm going to be asking them or their sponsor, surprise to you, if they would come up at the next meeting, following meeting, and give a bio for about 3 or 4 minutes, saying, this is who I am, where I've come from, what I'm doing. It would be wonderful. It would be a way of us to know new members and them to get to know us too. And so, okay. This is what I've got left to do. Come up with a budget, which I just found out I should do, but isn't mandatory that I get it done right away, but I will do it. Get the schedule of events so that we can program and know what's coming up and we can advertise in advance as best we can. And once again, we've got a good active group, but we need to get volunteers assigned to projects that want to have fun doing the various things. I think I've got, how can I word it? Not an overly aggressive schedule. I think we can accomplish these things very well this year. And let me see, I wanted to comment about that. Yeah. So, the advantage of having a late board meeting, meaning after this meeting, is that we'll be able to go over these things and say yes or no. And the other advantage is, if you people have any ideas that say no, or something new, or expand upon this, or brand new ones, now's the time. Please speak up. And we can certainly include those, add those, or change as you think you, the audience, you, the members, want to do. So, questions? Yes?
What is Rotary?
Okay. Young Rotarians is the best way to put it. Yeah, young professionals. What makes them different than a Rotarian? Nothing. They could just as easily become a Rotarian from there, but Rotaracts together would be young professionals getting together. They'd have a common thing to start with and go on from there. And obviously we wouldn't mind at all if they progressed right into Rotary and here. Yes?
It's normally, I think, Rotary is composed of college students. South Dakota Tech, I believe, has one in South
Okay.
Dakota district. That's the only one I'm aware of. But that's the group that's trying to get involved. Another question is, I'm not sure everybody here knows what a shelter box is.
Good point.
Could you tell us a little bit about what a shelter box is?
No, I won't, but an empty chair there will. Did he have to go? He did have to go. Okay. If I remember correctly, it's $1,000, I believe, that per box. But it's a 4-month supply for a family of 4, or 1 month for a family of 4, of everything they need: housing, food, water, sanitation, equipment. It's the thing when you have a major disaster, a tsunami or something like that. Or you bring these in, and they will make survival units for families, for a family of 4 per box. And they pack it up pretty small. They do a very good job of packing it, so much so that Tim still hasn't figured out how to put it back in the box, because he has one. But they're...
The shelter box program is separate from Rotary. It's a completely different organization, but they're partners with Rotary, and they do a lot of work together, because Rotary will come in and do aid after there's been some sort of crisis, natural disaster, something, and they partner with Shelter Box, who brings in the materials, and Rotary often handles a lot of the logistics and distribution of the boxes, so that they work in partnership. And Rotary also tries to encourage people to donate to Shelter Box, and to promote Shelter Box, so that they can increase their global reach.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. More
There
questions?
are Rotaract clubs. There have been Rotaract clubs there was another one in Brookings at one time. They've talked about having one in Mount Marty, but I think ours will probably happen before theirs does. And there is a new club in Sturgis. Sturgis? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious what the difference is on membership with corporate versus Rotaract. Membership fees, expectations, anything else like that differentiates them.
Those are options that the board could consider, because quite a few of the suggested change to the bylaws had different what's the right word, not wages, but fees is the best way to put it, where they talked about for your first person, second, and third were reduced fees, but it didn't give them any more of a vote or anything. So I saw no purpose to that, and I see no reason why we should change it from the regular membership fee. So that's what I'm going to propose to the board. But all it does really, it's like if you didn't want to come here, but you wanted to send a guest, the guest would be your guest, they would be here, and you'd pay $6 for their food or something like that, or $8 or whatever it is. It's not much different than that, to be honest, because what you normally do, I think the way it's written up now, the proposal is you'd have a person per corporation, and then they would say, if it's not me, then it's this person or this person. But in reality, anybody representing from that community, that industry could come under that. So what it does is it makes it easier for industries to be represented here. And also, if they do use more than one person, to expand the knowledge and expand the visibility of Rotary.
The corporate ones basically is just the same thing as a regular membership. You just have different.
Yeah. The only,
Rotary is a completely different thing because they set up their own bylaws.
okay? Yes, Ted?
If I want to sponsor one or more ducks, how do I fork over the $5? Is there a little book of tickets or something like that, or how do we do that?
We had tickets in the past. Do we still have tickets?
We do have tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
Is everybody going to get a book of tickets, or only on request?
Just on request as far as I know, unless the board wants to do something different.
We haven't discussed it, but I would say no. I'm
We
sure.
only have, 3 weeks until the big race? And
Past the board, just everybody bought 5 ducks or 10 ducks,
Yes.
whatever it was.
That's right, I did. Forgot I had that in there. We'll probably do the same thing. We'll know in about 40 minutes. The board meeting.
One other thing, then I'll shut up. I always thought a highlight of our meetings historically was when we had the high school seniors come.
Mhm.
I always enjoyed that. I think most of us did. And that was terminated a year or 2 ago. Is there any chance where that could be resumed?
I certainly hope so. I want it to resume. I'll have to ask Avery. I don't see any reason why not. And you're right, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
We're working with them to get that going, again. Some of them didn't want to come because of COVID and,
That's fine. They don't have to come, but they're invited.
and that's what they're trying to work out in high
Yeah.
school now is, okay, how are we going to pick and choose who comes? Or are they going to volunteer to come? Or how are we going to do it?
My sense of it is in the past, you just did it alphabetical. And you had like 4 per session. And you just go right down the list. And if one of them doesn't want to come, you go to the next one alphabetically. And
And I don't know why they changed that, but we're working on it.
scared the hell out of a lot of those kids after that talk. Gravitas characters there.
They need to be warned like citizen people.
And also, in my experience, in the past, they didn't understand what the Rotary was. They were just invited to come and get out of school, go for a lunch on the campus, and that's about all they knew. And it would be good if they,
Give them a sheet.
yeah, yeah,
Read, as to what we
yeah.
are, who we are.
And we used to get little cue cards
Yeah.
that had the topics that we wanted them to talk about, and that helped some of them.
Wasn't it almost compulsory for the kids? And they weren't really, they didn't know they should say no.
Okay. One last thing for me. I have to tell a story, making confession. My success in my career was based solely on the fact that when I first started and I wanted to progress, is I found my boss's boss, or maybe above that, and went to his secretary and told her I would clean her desk, give her coffee. I would do anything she wanted if she would just correct my spelling and go over my work. And they most of the time did it just for the fun of it. And it paid off tremendously. I cannot spell. I try my best. I'm told that's a definition of a really good engineer. I can't spell and can't capitalize. So, but the other thing I can't to do, and even though I've tried for years, is remember names. So I apologize right off the bat, but I will suffer through both of those. And I'm telling you this, so please help me. If it's up there and it's misspelled, don't laugh at me, please. Just tell me, oh, it's misspelled. Yes, sir.
You have the word spelled
Eh? Yeah, you're right. Well, thank you, sir. And I truly do appreciate that. Okay. Anything else? Good.
Does the membership have any suggestions for the board, because we're meeting right after this, of things that you would race in the summer. We had talked about adding something at the county fair. Dakota Days Parade looks like that might continue. Last year was the first year, but it seemed popular. So are there other events other than, say, Meals on Wheels, which is a regular event? Are there other things you'd like to see the club doing?
Maybe at the county fair, a big old stand.
Okay. Yeah, we were looking at options for the county fair that involved the ducks, right? So kind of keeping on the brand of the duck race. So doing duck launches, duck ponds, duck something.
Even parking cars. Jack, parking cars at the county fair. Someone should do that.
I don't know, you think people are going to trust us with their keys, Paul?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
where the park.
Yeah, but you're racking them.
Thank you. Anything else?
And what about, like, years ago, we did the holiday parade, it's now the standstill parade. We distributed hot chocolate a couple of years. And there has been a suggestion that maybe we want to have some kind of exhibit or float in the parade, or do some kind of service, distributing hot chocolate or doing something for the parade. That's another thing. And we also stopped doing the holiday food baskets. We did that for decades, I think. And then that stopped 3 or 4 years ago. So we blame the Lions Club for that fall through because they used to partner with us, so it's all their fault, obviously.
I did not do it either.
Yes, Ray.
Yeah, not a member yet, but a couple things that come to mind. SESDAC is having and I don't remember all the details now, but a golf tournament, whatever, middle of August, I think. I could bring the information, well, I won't be here next week, but I could bring that information. Also, Habitat for Humanity is building a house out by the middle school. And at some point, not right now, I don't think, but at some point, we'll need volunteers to help build that. The basement is in, but that's about as far as it's gone. But we're hoping to have that finished this fall sometime.
Did we find a resident for the one that's built?
Pardon me?
Did we find a resident for the one that is already built, the house? Is there now? They had a hard time finding somebody. That was disappointing.
We have, have we found somebody? Yes. Yeah, in fact, we had sort of a dedication 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Good. I'm glad
Who's
you
the
did
lead
that.
on that, Ray, for point of contact on Habitat?
I'm sorry?
Who's the lead on that Habitat?
Well, I suppose it would be Rebecca Meyer, who's the CEO or executive director of Habitat for Clay and Yankton counties. Or you can talk to me. I'm on the board of directors.
We had discussed,
Go ahead.
we discussed also being more proactive, like with the medical opportunities for helping at one time. That had been a discussion since I've been a member to do, I don't know what, because
I'm sorry.
some of our main contacts there.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't know that one.
Well, just the, I don't know, but, after the lady who was a member, I'm sorry, I didn't know her well, Merrigan.
Yeah, Mary.
Passed away, we were told, that's much I was told, talked about in the meeting, that she had, and he kept us abreast of goings on and the opportunities there, so, that is something that you were.
Yeah, maybe opportunities with the
what she was responsible for or with was now done by Jill. Can't think of her last name, but they do send out a monthly newsletter saying what's going on. So, the mistake I made last time was, I picked it, was to find the next sergeant at arms. And so this time we're going to pick until we find somebody who's in our presence. That'll help.